minute. So when you indicated that you started paying the entire mortgage January of 18, correct?
Yes.
Until you were removed?
Yes.
And you also gave her cash to make the payment for the insurance? Is that what your testimony is?
Yes.
During that entire time?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
What about utilities? How is that allocated between the two of you?
Miss Mackey paid the utilities. I paid we split it. I paid the mortgage. She paid the utilities.
Okay. And when you moved into the home, back into the home in September of 2023, who paid the utilities at that point?
I did.
Now, there were two mortgages with Third Federal, correct?
Yes.
And you heard testimony regarding a second mortgage that was taken out on the home through Third Federal, and then a subsequent check that was written out to yourself after that?
Yes.
Okay. What was the situation that led to that check being written?
Miss Mackey had removed a large amount of cash out of my safe without my knowledge.
Here we have a truly intriguing case. A husband and wife are fighting over who actually paid the mortgage on the home that was sold, right after the husband was forced out of the house. The husband believes he deserves compensation from the sale proceeds, but this story goes much deeper. It is really a case of trust, or the complete lack of it, because the wife was caught stealing money straight out of her husband's safe. So let's sit back and learn a hard lesson together. Sometimes your biggest enemy has been right next to you the entire time.
So there was an order filed September 19th. And the order was for defendant Randall Peterson. He was sanctioned for he was found in contempt. Sanctioned for a term of incarceration of 30 days and a fine of $1,500 to be paid within 45 days of the order.
And you're on that once paid by Mr. Peterson.
Hold on. The term of incarceration and the fine may be purged on the condition that he pay $1,259 for attorney fees incurred. Did he do that?
He did, Your Honor. He did purge to avoid jail. But
were the March, April, May, and June of 2025 payments made by the defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hinton?
Thank you, Your Honor. In February of...
Did he make the payments? March, April, May, and June as I ordered in September?
Now, those were dealt with at the time of the sale.
Okay. Were they paid?
Not by Mr. Peterson.
Are they paid?
They are now.
From closing, they were, Your Honor.
Okay. So now we have that issue's taken care of.
Correct.
Now the issue is these two apparently like coming back here because they can't figure out any way that this should be divided other than the complete opposite way. And so their agreement when they settled this case is the property would be sold, which was like dragging it took forever.
It did.
To get to that point, okay? And you says it's all your fault, okay? And so now their agreement was that it would be sold, placed in escrow, and it would be divided equally after offsets, if any, right?
Technically, what the order that you entered said is be governed by the terms of...
All right. So tell me what they then agreed to do.
So if we could not come to an amicable resolution, and the only resolution that the defendants have proposed...
Well, I don't care. If you can't come to a resolution, then what?
So we have a hearing today.
No, this is a motion to show cause.
Well, it's also in the alternative to enforce the settlement agreement. We can take evidence as to the payments that my client has made and as to the offsets under the holding of Thrasher versus Watts, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's not a motion to show cause, because there's no violation of the order at this point.
Well, your order also said you would reserve on any further findings. And our argument is, he was ordered to pay it and while he was living there, and to pay it out of escrow instead of paying it directly, that should have been, that should not be an
This
offset.
isn't, the issue is, I don't know, how long has this case been going on?
Since 23, Your Honor.
When was it filed?
It was, I believe, December of 23, but I don't know the date offhand, Your Honor.
November 27th of 23.
Okay. So there is no motion to show cause, so that's dismissed.
Okay.
Okay. So now you have a book of exhibits. Did you look at these exhibits?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And in fact, Your Honor, to interrupt, the appraisal and the closing statement have been stipulated to ahead of time, Your Honor.
That's somewhere in these exhibits?
Yes, that'd be Exhibit E and Exhibit F. The appraisal is when Mr. Peterson came on title, and then the closing statement, Exhibit F, is what the value was at the time of the sale in June of last year.
Okay. So you believe, how much is sitting in escrow?
About $195,000, Your Honor.
And you believe your client is entitled to what?
Honestly, Your Honor, all of it.
Honestly?
Honestly, all of it, because when she...
$195,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And the rationale for
And
that...
you believe your client is entitled to what?
50%. It's close to 98,000.
And Your Honor, if I may,
Nope, not yet. Okay, so the agreement, settlement agreement, says that the parties shall mutually divide the net proceeds of the sale, taking their respective contributions to the property into consideration, including but not limited to contributions for the down payment, mortgage payments, insurance, maintenance, and improvements, right?
correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So if he's not entitled to any money, if that's your position, why was that even included in the settlement agreement?
Because, Your Honor, when Thrasher versus Watts, which we...
Why was that included in the settlement? I don't give a shit about Thrasher.
Because we wanted to prove what we've put into it, and it's imperative to understand...
Okay, so did you know at the time of the settlement agreement that your position was he was entitled to nothing?
No, we wanted him to prove what he thought he was entitled
Okay.
to, Your Honor, and he hasn't done that. We bought the house in
Did you
2000
provide documents on what you believe he's entitled to?
Yes.
Okay, so to your satisfaction, he hasn't proven that.
Your Honor, if I may, the documents they provided were a 2-page handwritten...
Okay, I don't care what they were, okay? Their obligation was to provide some proof that he's entitled to something. Your obligation was to provide some proof that she's entitled to something.
Correct.
If you can't agree, then here I am.
Correct.
Okay, so I don't care if you think that his list was horse shit, or if he thinks yours was horse shit, doesn't matter to me. Okay? You want to argue to me without any type of evidence that it was a horse shit document he gave you. Okay?
Your Honor, we bought the house in 2011.
I don't care.
This is very important,
It's
Your
not
Honor.
important to me. Okay, what's important to me, okay, is that you claim that you may be entitled to every penny from this thing, okay? He may be entitled to half of it, okay? So call your witnesses and let's get on with it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Now, we've got 7 other hearings this morning, too.
It will be quicker than you think, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Thank you. As first witness, I would call Andrea Mackey.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I did.
All right, go ahead.
All right, go on up.
You can stay there.
Okay, then use that exhibit.
Okay.
All right, please state and spell your name for the record, Ms. Mackey.
Andrea Mackey, Andrea Mackey.
At all times relevant, you were the owner of the property located at 11812 Paynesville Warren Road, Concord Township, Ohio, 44077, correct?
Yes.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
You speak up so the judge can hear you and the court reporter can take it. And did you purchase that property on or about February 28th of 2012?
Yes.
And was the purchase agreement for that entered into by you? Did you have a purchase agreement?
Yes.
Turn to Exhibit A, please. Is that the purchase agreement?
Yes.
And who is Andrew Janis?
My father.
So you and your father purchased a home on that date, correct?
Yes.
And was the purchase price $150,000?
Yes.
And did you personally make the earnest money deposit?
Yes.
And that was for $1,000?
Yes.
Was that mortgage taken out?
Yes.
And did you make all the payments on that mortgage from that time? And we'll go into the next date, but did you make all the payments on that mortgage?
Yes.
And at that time, Mr. Peterson was not living with you or involved in any way with you, marriage-wise, correct?
Correct.
And to this, you were never married to Mr. Peterson, correct?
Correct.
At no time during any of this were you ever married, correct?
Correct.
And so he made no payments at that time in 2012, correct?
Correct.
And you have proof of those payments being made?
Correct.
And those were attached to my October 31st motion as Exhibit E, and I also, if you turn to Exhibit B, are these documents that you provided?
Yes.
And we provided those to the defendant and his counsel, correct?
Yes.
What period of time does Exhibit B encompass?
From the time that Mr. Peterson, basically from the time that Mr. Peterson was involved in 2019 and prior payments on certain aspects, but the majority of the documents are from the time that Mr. Peterson and Ms. Mackey lived in the house
All right,
at,
I see one from, the first one, 7/1/25.
correct.
Do you have statements from Third Federal? From
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Going back, how far from
I
7/1/25?
believe from the beginning, she's provided every statement
So
ever
from
made in the
12?
house. Correct,
From 2012, from what, April?
correct, all the way to 2025 when the house sold.
All right, go ahead.
In short, these documents prove the payments you made on this property, correct? Property in around February of 2012 officially, correct?
Correct.
And if you turn to Exhibit C,
Yes.
and Your Honor, that would obviously be self-authenticating through being a recorded document with the Recorder's Office. Mr. Peterson was not on that deed, correct?
Correct.
Now, did there come a time that Mr. Peterson was placed on the title of the property?
Yes.
And if you turn to Exhibit D, is that the document that shows Mr. Peterson becoming an owner of the property?
Yes.
And that was on or about 12/5 of 19, correct?
Correct.
And that document, Your Honor, we would argue speaks for itself as to the interests of the parties. So at that time, Mr. Peterson was added to the title, correct?
Yes.
And at that time, were you married to Mr. Peterson?
No.
At any time from that point forward, were you married to Mr. Peterson?
No.
Now, was there an appraisal performed on the property on or around that time?
Yes.
And if you turn to Exhibit E, this has been stipulated to, is that the appraisal that was done?
Yes.
And in fact, your name and Mr. Peterson's name are on that, correct?
Yes.
What's the date of the appraisal?
The date of that appraisal is September, I apologize, Your Honor, September 9th of 2019.
Okay.
Why was that appraisal obtained, Ms. Mackey?
For a new mortgage.
And that would have been a mortgage between you and Mr. Peterson?
Yes.
And the appraised value of the house at that time was $309,072, correct?
Yes.
And you purchased the property for $150,000, correct?
Yes.
And so it was approximately 7 years from your first owning the property until Mr. Peterson became one of the title owners of the property, correct?
Correct.
And you were living at the property during this time?
Yes.
Now, at some point, the property was sold, correct?
Yes.
And the judge had mentioned it was like a long process. Did you do anything to inhibit that throughout the process of the sale?
No.
And in fact, it was Mr. Peterson who wasn't cooperating, correct?
Correct.
But the sale ultimately did happen, correct?
Yes.
And the sale price was $392,250,000, correct?
Correct.
392 what?
$392,250. So $392,250, Your Honor. And was the mortgage and equity line current at that time?
No,
How far behind were they?
4 months.
And was that March, April, May, and June of 2025?
Yes,
And were those paid through at closing?
yes,
Was there a closing statement performed on this property?
yes,
And if you turn to Exhibit F, Your Honor, this has been stipulated to. Is that the closing statement, Ms. Mackey?
yes,
And the closing date was June 12th of 2025, correct?
correct.
And that document shows that currently, after costs and expenses, there is $194,796.36 being held by Conway Land Title, correct?
Yes,
So again, Your Honor, it's $194,796.36. And that amount is still being held in escrow today, awaiting an order from this court, correct?
yes,
Now, the amount of equity in the house from December 5th of 19 through June 12th was $83,178, correct?
yes,
And that's the difference between the appraised value on September 9th, 2019 and the sale price of June 12th of 2025, correct?
yes,
In this regard, the receipts that you provided in Exhibit B to the court, that shows in excess of $85,000 of improvements paid for by you.
What exhibit?
Exhibit B, Your Honor.
Okay.
yes,
So that includes improvements plus mortgage payments?
Correct, Your Honor. And I'll ask her, does that include mortgage, utilities, insurance, and other items that you've paid?
yes.
And Mr. Peterson, when did he begin living at the property by himself?
September 15th, 2023.
Okay. And please turn to Exhibit G. This has actually been stipulated to at the last hearing, Your Honor. I will represent to you, Ms. Mackey, this is a third federal statement. Do you recognize that?
Yes,
And does it show how far in arrears the payments were by Mr. Peterson?
yes,
And again, Your Honor, that has been stipulated to and considered by the court.
Was it March, April, May, and June? Is that what that encompasses?
March, yes, Your Honor, of 2025. And Ms. Mackey, it's true that Mr. Peterson was responsible for those payments?
yes,
Finally, as to the equity line that was taken out, there was an equity line taken out by you and Mr. Mackey, or Mr. Peterson, correct?
yes,
And did Mr. Peterson write himself a check from that?
yes, he did.
If you turn to Exhibit H, is that the check that was written?
Yes, it is.
And it was for $35,689.99, correct?
Yes,
Was that written the day after the equity line was taken?
yes,
And did you receive any benefit from that?
no,
So with all of this presented, are you asking the court to issue an order having Conway Land Title issue $194,796.36 to you?
yes,
And that's because you provided proof of payments along with receipts, itemizations, and bank statements, correct?
yes,
And in fact, you had to pay the insurance the entire time throughout this process, correct?
yes,
Even though Mr. Peterson was responsible for that?
yes,
Now, Mr. Peterson provided a list of documents. Are you familiar with that?
yes,
You turn to Exhibit I. The first 2 pages, have you ever been provided any documentation to support those items?
no,
Have you ever received a receipt?
no,
So do you dispute this list as being accurate?
no.
You don't dispute it?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not understanding.
You
Yes.
dispute this?
Yes, I dispute it.
And
yes.
because there's no backup or information supporting any of these items?
Correct,
And then the last 3 pages, those were payments that were court ordered, correct?
correct,
And those payments from Mr. Peterson were dated 2/26 of '25, correct?
yes,
Well before the last 4 payments that he missed, correct?
yes, yes,
Now, to date, you have incurred more legal fees, and the court reserved on an issue of attorney's fees. Your motions to hold him in contempt were in June of 2025, correct?
correct,
And you've incurred fees from that date until today due to his actions?
yes,
If you could turn to Exhibit J, please. Is that an accurate list of the fees you've incurred from June 2nd through yesterday?
yes,
And is that amount $12,705?
yes, it is.
And have you always been willing to cooperate to try to resolve this?
Yes, absolutely.
And is that reasonable, the amount that you were billed from June until yesterday?
Yes,
Are you seeking those fees as well?
yes,
And those are because of Mr. Peterson's failing to follow the mandates of this court, correct?
yes,
Or cooperate in the sale of the property?
yes,
And for the court, in fact, Mr. Peterson tried to delay the closing due to not wanting to move out, correct?
Objection.
Overruled.
And it took another motion from our office to get him to cooperate, correct?
yes,
So it's been anything but amicable, correct?
correct.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Mr. Hinton?
Ma'am, you met Mr. Peterson in 2010, correct?
9, yes,
Okay. So you knew him when you purchased the home in 2011, right?
yes,
Okay. And at the time that you purchased the home, you were receiving spousal support, correct?
yes,
And there was a provision in your divorce decree that if you were cohabitating with another...
I guess I'm going to object to a former divorce that has nothing to do with Mr. Peterson.
Well, it does have a lot to do with this.
What does it have to do with it?
It has to do as to why he wasn't put on the deed in the first place.
What does that matter? He either was or he wasn't, and that, how does that impact what he's due or not due?
Because our testimony and our side of this is that he was living in the home ever since it was purchased.
Okay? So why don't you ask her if he was living in a home whenever it was purchased? What does the divorce have to do with it?
Well, a big emphasis was put on him not being put on the deed until 2019, and I'm
Okay?
going to explain why.
Was he put on the deed in 2019?
He was,
Was it your contention he was living there well before that?
correct.
Why don't you ask her that? That's what's a relevant question.
Isn't it accurate that Mr. Peterson was living in the home prior to him being put on the deed in 2019?
not till a year before,
A year before what?
a year before.
He was put on the deed,
The new mortgage was made,
which was when?
18.
So is that when he started living there, 18 or 17?
Yes, he had his own home prior
Okay,
to
when,
that.
the question is that he's trying to get, okay, that he's asked you, when did he start living there?
I just stated 2018,
Okay.
whenever he sold his
Like,
house.
I was trying to clarify because you said a year before the mortgage and then, so anyway, 2018, go ahead.
And during the period of time that Mr. Peterson was residing in the home, he would give you money for the mortgage, correct?
No,
He wouldn't give you $1,400 towards the mortgage?
no,
Now, you had purchased this home for approximately $150,000, correct?
yes.
And the home was in disrepair?
Since he moved in, yes.
Well, when you bought the home for $150,000, it wasn't in good condition, right?
Oh, it needed some repairs, yes.
Okay.
and I did.
Well, what did you just sell the home for recently?
3,
Okay. So fair to say that the home was improved between the time you purchased it and the time it was sold, correct?
I'm going to object, Your Honor.
Overruled.
yes, I have, the receipts I paid to fix it up were presented, yes.
Okay. Well, and Mr. Peterson did a lot of work to fix up the home, correct?
No,
So is it your testimony that the period of time that Mr. Peterson was residing in the home, since you indicate 2018, that he didn't do repairs and fix up the home?
no,
Now, at some point, Mr. Peterson left the home, correct?
when it sold, yes.
No, prior to that, there was a period of time where
Oh,
you were
yes.
in the home for about 9 months, right?
Yes, I had a restraining order against him.
And when was that period of time?
That was from December 15th, 2022, until the CPO was up on September 14th of 2023, because it was going into the next year.
So from your recollection, because I'm trying to establish a timeline, when in 2018 approximately did Mr. Peterson move in?
Maybe May, June?
Okay. So from May or June of 2018 to December of 2022, you agree that Mr. Peterson resided in that home?
Yes.
Okay. But it's also your contention that he didn't pay anything towards a mortgage and he didn't make any improvements to the home?
He did not make improvements to the home, but he paid a portion of the mortgage. I paid everything else.
Okay, so when you say a portion of the mortgage, what do you mean by that?
Well, I have receipts, I have copies of, he would pay the $1,000, I would pay the $400 of the mortgage, and I paid everything else.
Okay, so from May of 2018 to December of 2022, Mr. Peterson paid $1,000 each month towards a mortgage, correct?
Correct.
Now, in your the mortgage that you're referring to is the Fifth Third mortgage, is that correct? Or is it, sorry?
Third Federal.
Third Federal? Okay. And that's the bank that was used when yourself and Mr. Peterson did the refinance, correct?
Yes.
And what was the bank holding the mortgage prior to that refinance?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
What bank had the mortgage when you initially purchased the home in 2011?
Trying to think who that was with. I don't know offhand.
Okay, because when you refer to your exhibits, there's no statements from that prior mortgage, correct? Every mortgage statement included in this exhibit book is from Third Federal, right?
Well, yes, because this is when the case is rooted from, that's why. I mean, everything, yes, that's when it is rooted from.
Okay. And then when the protection order expired or ran its course on or about September 14th of 2023, you had already left this home, correct? You weren't residing there?
I left in fear, yes.
And Mr. Peterson moved back in, correct?
Yes.
So Mr. Peterson's been residing home from September of 2023 till when it sold in June of 2000. Yeah, during that period of time that Mr. Peterson wasn't in the home between December of 22 and September 14th of 23, you made approximately 7 mortgage payments yourself, correct?
Yes, about that many, or 8 to 9 maybe.
And when Mr. Peterson moved back in September of 2023, the mortgage was approximately 2 months behind, correct?
No, it was current.
Okay. And you haven't paid a mortgage payment since at least September of 2023, correct?
Yes, when he moved in, yes.
Okay. And based on your exhibit I, Mr. Peterson made payments of $17,352.49, $3,415.39, and $355, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that was to bring the mortgage current from, right around this September of 23 until February of 25, correct?
Yes.
And during the period of time between September of 23 and September of 23 and June of 25, you weren't at the home at all, correct?
Correct.
I mean, we may have done a walk through the four of us, but besides that, you weren't at the home at all, correct?
Correct.
So you weren't paying anything towards the home other than the homeowner's insurance?
Yes.
And as far as the sale of the home, you weren't there to coordinate the showings, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't do anything to prep the house for sale, right?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay, I have no further questions.
Any
Your Honor.
redirect?
I have none, Your Honor.
Okay. Nicole, where are they at?
Maria's sending you an email summary, but basically, nobody can find the money.
Okay, you guys take a break, bring those guys in.
May I leave
You can
every-
leave your stuff there.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Kathy, you got to switch back to the last one.
Sorry, I'm behind it.
Wow. This is another. For them. All right, let's see. Having fun? My system's really slow.
Is ours then?
I think you'll find a different.
They left their stuff here. Okay.
Yeah, we'll just hang on here.
Okay, I just didn't want to be looking at something I shouldn't.
As soon as my son kicks in. Keep your jacket.
I am cold.
Let me know when it's done, kid.
Yeah, it's just spinning. There it goes. Give me 1 minute.
Everybody have a seat. Okay. All right.
Couldn't do the meeting with the phone, could you?
No, it was like important, it's Rachel and all Indiana insurance. I told my boss I was going to be late, I just didn't want to, I was hoping not to miss too much. I might not be there much longer.
Had sent the funds to town. Town then returned it to Chase, then returned it to Chase, then Chase then sent it to town back, and then it was not sent back. And according to Chase, they said that the borrower should go to a bank because there's some issues or the accounting doesn't match up according to the bank statement that they have. So that's what they had suggested. But we were willing to do that today, but Mr. Batten needs to get to a meeting. So our plan was to hopefully move this 2 weeks because of the holiday. She was going to get this information
What
showing
holiday?
Monday. She was going to get the bank statements showing that it wasn't returned and then provide that to me, and then we were both going to call next week town if there's money there and say on a three-way call, where's the money? We have proof. Where is it? And then we can report back to the court.
Who did you talk to at town?
Just someone, whoever picked up the
Because
phone.
the next thing is, I guess in 2 weeks, I guess I'm going to have to get town here also. as well as Celine and everybody else. Maybe Chase will bring a cast of thousands in to try to solve a simple problem. Eight o'clock, January 29th. Now, in the meantime, these guys won't accept their money, right?
Correct, because of the acceleration clause.
If, okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
8 o'clock on the 29th. Okay?
Thank you.
Everybody's got to be here.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You want me to bring the other group back in?
No rush. Big fucking rush.
I'll talk to Pat, he'll take care of that for you. You have the icon, you said that, right? Okay, I'll find out why it's not working.
To the extent those folks need somebody, they contact me. I said, I don't think you need an attorney at this point, but if it goes much further, Your Honor, we may. So,
It ain't going to go much further.
good. That's what I told them. I said, you don't need a lawyer.
Ready? All right, Mr. Walter, next witness.
I would call Mr. Randall Peterson.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear testimony about gives the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Is this on cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
All right, Mr. Peterson, if you could state and spell your name for the record, please.
First name's Randall, R-A-N-D-A-L-L. Last name's Peterson, P-E-T-E-R-S-A-N.
Now, you provided a list of items in relation to this matter, correct?
Yes.
And if you turn to Exhibit I of the book that your lawyer has, is that the list that you provided of payments you've made?
Yes.
All right, and turning to the first page, your lawyer will probably go through these, but you list a bunch of things. Do you have any receipts or any other proof of these being paid?
No, they were all stolen.
So you have no receipts as we sit here today to verify any of these amounts?
I do not.
All right. And you don't have any other documents you're presenting today other than these, correct?
Not able to, no. Correct.
Your attorney mentioned during my client's direct exam or cross-examination that you staged the house. Wasn't the house fairly empty during the time of the sale?
What, can you elaborate on that?
Well, we had a walkthrough, the
Yes.
two lawyers and you and my client, correct?
Yes.
And there was nothing really in the house. There weren't appliances, there was nothing, correct?
No, it was cleaned out.
So when was the first staging that your attorney mentioned?
For staging
Yes,
of getting the house ready to be sold.
yes.
Just the property itself. I mean, we lived in the woods. There's constantly debris coming down. There was stuff on the siding of the house. A tree branch had hit the house. I had to fix that. Just
Okay.
getting everything ready.
Just general maintenance, okay.
Yes.
And you were living there by yourself at that time, correct?
Correct.
All right. And there's no disputing, you did not make the payments for March, April, May, or June of 2025, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
At that time, the house was already sold. It was being sold, so I was even told by the court-appointed realtor, just like, don't pay those, it's already sold.
Well, I don't understand. So you said already sold the house.
Was being, it was in the contract, or being under contract, or whatever, and she's like,
Okay, we'll turn to Exhibit L. The judge's order is basically you were to pay those, correct?
yes.
And so you're saying you listened to a realtor to not pay those?
No, after, and that's, the realtor had told me that, I didn't pay him. The judge said I was court ordered to pay. I ended up paying the $1,200 and something.
Right, but the actual payment at the closing, correct?
Yes, correct.
And if you could turn to Exhibit K, I just want to verify. Exhibit K is in KIC. The third page, that is your signature on that document, correct?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, I'd rest. I would also move, well, do you want to do exhibits now, or do you want to do it? So, Your Honor, I would move to admit exhibits A, B, C, D, E has already been stipulated to, F,
I thought that was stipulated too also.
it was, Your Honor,
Okay.
G, which has also been stipulated, H, and I, and J, Your Honor.
Any objection to A through E, H, I, and J?
I'm not going to lodge an objection, but I'd point out that I think that a lot of this doesn't carry a lot of weight. I'm sure the court will put the appropriate amount of weight on the
All
same.
right, so they're all admitted without objection.
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Hinton,
I would call Mr. Peterson, Your Honor.
are you still under oath? Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Peterson, you heard testimony by Ms. Mackey that the home that we're discussing was purchased on October 24th, 2011.
Yes.
Did you partake at all in the purchase of that home?
Yes.
Okay. And in what regard?
I located it. It was sat vacant for 3 years. It was a bank-owned place in disarray. It was a complete mess. I started right off. You couldn't even drive down the driveway. It was that bad. It's 490 feet off the road, in the middle of the woods, with 2 ravines that you got to cross. Yes, the house is disarray.
Okay. Ed, you agree that you weren't on the initial loan or deed when the home was purchased in 2011, right?
That is correct. She went through a divorce. On her divorce, in the divorce decree, her ex-husband put that she could not live with another male for the first 3 years, or she would lose her spouse's support.
Ed, was there a point in time when you did officially move into the home?
Yes.
And when was that?
It was the end of 2013 after I sold my home.
Okay. And where was your home?
It was in Leroy, Ohio, off of Leroy Center Road.
And when you moved in 2013, did you, well, let me ask you this, between October 24th and 2011, and then what was the month you moved in 2013?
Within 2 weeks I moved in. It was just kept, I still kept my house, claimed my mail's still there because she couldn't live
Within
with
2 weeks
another
of what?
of getting the house prepped to even be able to live in it.
So what are we talking about?
Okay. Yeah, just to clarify, so when you say you moved in, Was it in 2011 or was it in 2013?
Technically, it was 2011, since we got it, once we got the place in, I stayed there every day.
Okay, but you had another home as well.
I had another home, I had that house out for almost a year, and then after I sold it, I moved in, and it would have been the end of 2013.
Okay. Did that kind of coincide when the 3-year period on the spousal support ended?
I didn't actually claim my residency there and complete 100% was until 2014, the beginning of 2014, because then her spousal support had ended.
I don't object to any, I mean, this is kind of getting off where we were. This is about receipts.
I assume he's trying to make some claim that he's due some money from when he moved in there, so it's overruled.
Now, you heard Ms. Mackey testify that you moved in 2018, right?
Yes, that's a lie.
Okay. You heard her testify that that's when you started in 2018 making the $1,000 a month payment towards a mortgage.
Yes.
Okay, was that accurate?
No, it's not accurate. It's a lie also.
Okay. So when did you start?
Listen. You testify as to facts, okay? You don't testify as to conclusions. Your conclusion is she's a liar, okay? That's not fact testimony, okay? If I'm to assess the credibility of the witnesses, so you're not to do that anymore. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Go.
Okay. So when did you first start making contributions towards the mortgage on this home?
It would have been in 2015.
Okay, and what was your contribution?
I was paying $700 a month.
Okay, and how did you make that payment to Ms. Mackey?
In cash.
Okay, and why did you do it in cash?
Because since 20 months since we bought the house, it was always that way. If she bought anything, if I bought anything or she needed something for the house, I'd pay it in cash, because that way she wouldn't lose her spousal support. And it just had been that way, because even I think still in 2013, at the end of 2013, when I moved in, she was still receiving the spousal. I think it ended in 2014, somewhere around there.
Okay, so you agree between 2011 and 2015 you didn't make any payments towards a mortgage?
That's correct.
Okay.
And I did all the repairs there. Everything that needed to be done there, I did it myself.
Okay. And what were, in general terms, some of the repairs that you did between 2011 and 2015?
The house is set vacant, so there was mold throughout the whole place for over 3 years. The basement had flooded. It was like I said, it was in very poor shape. Replacing drywall, I had to replace every light fixture, every switch, every receptacle, hot water tanks, everything you needed to basically have the house up and running had to be replaced. The baseboard, trim boards, everything was replaced.
And you have receipts for these repairs that you did between 2011 and 2015?
I had receipts, but when I was removed from the house, she cleaned the whole house out. She took everything. I had nothing, no receipts, no paperwork, no tax reports, no anything. She cleaned the whole house out.
And when you say removed from the home, you're referring to the protection order in December of 22?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
when I was able to get back in the house on the 15th, I went there for the first time.
Well, we'll get there, but 2011, 2015, again, you didn't pay the mortgage payment at all, but so starting in 2015, you indicate you paid $700 a month to Ms. Mackey to go towards a mortgage, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then, was there a point in time where you started paying more?
Yes. Once my name was on in 2018, when my name was on the mortgage, I paid the whole thing. It was just under $1,400 until current.
Okay. Is there a reason, from your point of view, why you refinanced the mortgage and got put onto it?
Yes, so that my name was on there because I was worried that if anything ever happened to us, I would never get that money back or since I've been living there. Plus, she could have kicked me out anytime.
So now from 2015 to 2018, when you were paying $700 towards the mortgage.
I thought it was putting his name on 12/5/19.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I thought that was the exhibit indicated that it was filed, the deed with his name on it was filed 12/5/19.
Correct.
You said 18.
Well, I think what he testified to is that he started paying the mortgage in 2018, the full mortgage.
Well, he said he started paying the full mortgage when his name was added. So is that not, which is 12/5/19, is that not accurate? Because he said then two different things.
Okay, let me try to clear that up. So I'm gonna, I have the Exhibit A, which is the deed. I know it's part of plaintiff's exhibits too, but I mean, according to this Exhibit A, you were put onto the deed in December 5th of 2019, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So knowing that you became a titled owner on the property in December of 2019, had you started paying additional beyond that $700 before or after this?
Before the 2019. In 2018, I was paying the full amount.
Okay.
Beginning of 2018.
When in 2018?
It would have been the beginning of 2018, you know, I don't.
January?
Yes,
And that full amount was the $1,400?
yes.
And how did you pay that to the mortgage company?
I drove straight to the bank and paid it in cash.
And do you have any receipts from that?
I do not.
Okay. Well, there's
In the exhibit,
there's exhibits in plaintiff's package that show statements and payments and things related to the mortgage during this time period, right?
yes,
And were you the one that was paying that mortgage?
yes.
In being that you began paying that amount in January of 2018, is there a period of time where you stopped paying that amount?
Yes,
And when was that?
when I was removed from my house.
And that was the protection order in December of 2022?
Correct.
And was there a point in time when you moved back into the home?
Yes, it'll be September 15th of 2023.
Okay. And what's your understanding of the mortgage being paid or not being paid between December 2022 and September 2023?
The August payment was not made and September payment was not made. When I went to the bank to make the October payment, they said that they wouldn't accept it because I was in the rear because of the prior 2 months.
Okay. So up until February of 2025, you didn't make any additional mortgage payments, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then in February of 2025, looking at our Exhibit C, and it's part of, I think, plaintiff's Exhibit I, you made payments to Third Federal, is that correct?
Yes.
$17,352.49, $3,415.39, and $355.
Correct.
And that brought the,
That's the current, yes.
and then as far as March, April, and May of 2025, you did not pay, correct?
Correct.
And I know you hit on it in your cross-examination, but why didn't you pay March, April, or May of 2025?
Because the realtor told me it's already under contract, there's no reason to pay it, it'll come out escrow.
Okay. Now, between September 2023, when you moved back in, and then the house being sold in June of 25, did you make any improvements or repairs to the home?
Just the maintenance, general maintenance.
You paid the utilities for that period of time?
Yes.
Was the property tax included in the mortgage since you had refinanced?
Yes.
And you agree that Ms. Mackey paid the homeowner's insurance?
Prior to, or after I I was moved, or she was moved from place, I paid her, I'd give her cash for the insurance for the house prior to, and that started back in like 2018.
Okay.
2017, I was giving her cash for the homeowner's insurance.
But then after you moved back in September of 2023, she paid that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then during the period of time that you resided in the home
Hold
of this...
on a minute. So when you were, you indicated that you started paying the entire mortgage January of 18, correct?
Yes,
Until you were removed?
yes,
And you also gave her cash to make the payment for the insurance? Is that what your testimony is?
yes,
During that entire time?
yes.
Okay, go ahead.
What about utilities? How was that allocated between the two of you?
Miss Mackey paid the utilities. I paid we split it, I paid the mortgage, she paid the utilities.
Okay. And when you moved into the home, back into the home in September of 2023, who paid the utilities at that point?
I did.
Now, there were two mortgages with Third Federal, correct?
Yes,
And you heard testimony regarding a second mortgage that was taken out on the home through Third Federal, and then a subsequent check that was written out to yourself after that?
yes.
Okay. What was the situation that led to that check being written?
Miss Mackey had removed a large amount of cash out of my safe without my knowledge. And then that's why she agreed to do the second mortgage, because she she removed that cash.
Okay. And when you wrote that check, what did you do with those funds?
It went to a business that we both own, and it was actually in her name at that time.
And why was it in her name at that time?
Because I was a state trooper, and patrol wouldn't allow me to own a liquor license, or an establishment had a liquor license.
Okay. So you had money for that business set aside in a safe. It was removed. You guys took out this second mortgage and then used those funds to put back into the business?
Yes.
Okay.
How much was that check for? 35 what?
$689.99, Your Honor. So $35,689.99.
So your contention that's what was stolen out of the safe?
No, Your Honor.
What was stolen out of the
40
safe?
grand, 40,000 total.
Okay, how did you come up with the 35 and how that odd number?
It went to what was called a balloon payment for the business.
No. And why wasn't it 40 that was?
She decided to remove the extra total. It came to a total of 40,000.
Okay. My question is, if the purpose of that check was to reimburse you for the 40,000 she took, why wasn't the check 40,000?
Because the balloon payment that was owed towards the end of the payment for the business was the 36,000.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Hinton.
Okay. I'm going to hand you what's been marked as Exhibit B. This is the handwritten list. Again, it's I in plaintiff's book. And I want you to just to briefly go through those itemizations that you have on there.
Okay.
And Your Honor, would you like a copy of this, or do you have it in front of you?
This is the same thing that's in I?
Correct.
I don't need it then.
Okay, so start with the front culverts for 2,700.
Okay. So it started off the driveway.
And be brief.
I'll be brief. The front culvert, there was it used to be a concrete bridge. It collapsed on us. I had to replace it. The middle culvert, water, there was only one culvert there. It wasn't big enough and the water kept coming over the driveway and flooding the driveway. I had to replace those. The barn roof was collapsing in. It was old. Put a metal roof on it. Tree removal. There we had a bad storm came through, wiped out a big tree, took down the wires, and ripped the meter box off the house. I had to pay to have the tree moved and put a new meter box back on the house, plus the wiring. Every switch light and everything in there, like I said, had to be replaced. Baseboard trim, everything. The hot water tank was junk. It wasn't working properly. Replaced that. the pressure tank with the bladder, I replaced that. Gravel for the driveway was nonstop, always, it was, like I said, it was 500 feet long, a lot of gravel, it had to be replaced. The vanity in the bathroom, put a new corian in there, new tile floors in the kids' bathroom. I actually paid in and did the work myself there along with Miss Mackey. New gas furnace was like, it was $5,000 cheap, yes. And then 2015.
Well, I think this hits on what you testified to already.
Yes.
Okay, so as far as those repairs that you just went over, do you, I mean, other than just having things written down, do you have any receipts for any of this?
All the receipts, Miss Mackey was very organized. She kept all the receipts in a big cabinet, had everything labeled, everything. And every receipt that I ever had, I would give to her, or any receipt she had.
And when you moved back into the home in September of 23, what was the status of that
the house,
receipt holder?
The house was cleaned out.
And were those receipts there?
They were not.
And you understand that there's approximately $194,799.36 in escrow from the sale of the home?
I do.
Okay, and what are you asking the court to award you out of that?
50% of it.
Okay, and why is that?
Because we both deserve 50% of it. I feel as I put 50% into it, she's put 50% into it, it should be split 50-50.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you have any additional cross-examination of?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Pearson, you testify, I'm confused as to payments. When was the refinance done for the home with the new bank?
The new bank, I thought it was in 2017. I don't recall, I don't have the exact date on it.
Would it shock you that it was actually 2019 in December and the first payment was due in January of 2020?
I'm not aware of that, no.
What was the original loan amount? What were the monthly payments for the original loan that you claim you were making payments on?
It was $1,100.
Okay. And your testimony was a little convoluted that you said you began making the payments. Which mortgage are you claiming you began making the full payment on? The original mortgage or the third federal mortgage?
The third federal mortgage.
And if the documentation shows that that didn't take effect until 2020, you would have to recant that testimony?
As far as?
Well, if the new mortgage didn't start until 2020, you weren't making full payments on the new mortgage amount, correct?
I was making, at first was, let's see, what year was it? So in 2017, 2018 is when we purchased the business. I started paying, that's when I ended up paying the full amount. That's like 2018 or whatnot, the full amount. So it would have been for the first one, I was paying the full amount, and then in 2020 we refinanced, started paying the full amount also.
Okay. And your claim is you did that in cash?
Yes.
Would you get that from your bank account?
No, because the business that I owned, that we owned was, had a large amount of cash flow through it, because everybody paid in cash.
All right, so is it your testimony you were taking money, what was the establishment that was being run? What type of establishment was it?
So a restaurant and tavern.
All right, did you document that in any way that you were taking the money from that to pay other bills?
Not positive on that, no, I don't know.
Well, that's a yes or no question. Do you have any documents here
No,
today?
I do not.
Okay, and you don't have any documents here today to substantiate your claim that you were paying cash, correct?
No.
And is it my understanding that the payments for the mortgage were by Miss Mackey?
Not during the time we were together.
All right, what is your understanding of how the loan was paid?
It was, we went to Fifth or Third Federal right off of Manor Avenue and paid it.
And is it your testimony you pay in cash?
Yes.
Okay. And at that time, you have no supporting document to support what you're saying here today, correct?
Correct.
And you testified you were a state trooper, correct?
Yes.
And you claim that my client stole some money from you?
She moved the money, yes.
Did you file a police report?
No, I did not.
Kind of odd for a state trooper. Why didn't you?
Because we were in an argument at the time, and then it kind of just went on the wayside.
Okay. And in looking at your list, that's my Exhibit I, and what Mr. Hinton handed you, I believe, is Exhibit B. If you look at the handwritten statement, the first page, I just want to make very clear we are just supposed to take it that your numbers, without any documentation, are what you paid, correct?
Those are probably low considered what they actually cost.
Right, and they're all round numbers, correct?
Yes,
And so is it your testimony that for the front culvert, it was $2,700 on the nose?
yes.
And
Well, I'm not saying on the nose, but I didn't want to say, there was no way for me to say it was $2,700, $60, $2,760. There was no way for me to come up with the exact.
where'd you
number.
buy the culvert from?
I had a friend of mine come in and replace it.
So did you pay him?
Yes.
And what was his name?
Eric Smith.
Did he give you a receipt?
I do believe he gave it to Andrea.
Okay. So as a friend of yours, what about the next? So is that true for both culverts?
Yes, but they were done at different times.
No receipt. What about the barn roof? Who'd you have do that?
There was an Amish crew out of Middlefield.
And was it $6,700?
That on the note, I do believe that was exactly $6,700.
Did they give you a receipt for that?
Miss Mackey would have it, yes.
Tree removal, was it $3,000 on the nose?
That was with the tree removal and the meter box put onto the, back on the house.
And your testimony says you paid this. Where'd you get the money to pay these items?
From,
All these on your first page?
because I worked. From however I got them, I went to my bank I went to my bank and got cash or whatnot.
All right.
Most of these,
Well, let me address it. So you took money out of your bank, correct?
yes,
Did you get statements from your bank?
yes,
Would it show these amounts being taken out?
I'm sure they would, yes.
Why don't you have those today?
Because I'm with a different bank and I wasn't gonna go back. There's no way, I didn't have specific dates. This has been going on since 2012.
It's safe to say you didn't take any step to get it from your bank at
No,
all.
how would I find it? I mean, if I go in there, how would I find
The
it?
answer is no?
No.
Is the answer no?
No.
Okay.
And you have something, replace baseboards, there's no amount for that, correct?
Miss Mackey, we'd have the receipts for it because.
That wasn't my question, sir. There's no amount there, correct?
Correct.
And then your hot water tank was a 640 on the nose?
Like I said before,
All right, so all these numbers are what you think you paid, correct?
yes, if not more.
So we don't know how much you paid. Your claim is it could be more?
Yes.
Okay. Second page talks about, you've written a little narrative. You never signed an affidavit as to these issues prior to today, did you? It's always been a handwritten statement, correct?
Yes.
All right, I really want to focus in on this second paragraph. Mackey stole $40K from my safe with my knowledge, without my knowledge. The $40,000 was supposed to pay toward my business. Is that what it says? All right, when you say my business, what do you mean by that?
It was our business.
But that doesn't say that, it says your business.
You are correct.
All right, did you have a partner, anyone else in this business?
Yes, Miss Mackey.
All right, anyone else?
Not at that time, no.
All right, did you document that this money was being taken to pay for other things other than business items?
No.
Okay. And you said a safe. Did Miss Mackey have the combination to your safe?
She did not.
Okay, so how did she get into your safe?
I have no clue.
Do you have that safe today?
I do.
And so she had no way to get into it, correct?
I did not think she did, but when I went back to my house again, someone had cut the wires off and must have gotten into the safe by some other means. I guess there's a way you can put a safe lock or a safe master, what do you want to call it? A locksmith can get into the safe.
Did you see that the locksmith had gotten into it?
I did not at the time, no.
All right, have you ever seen it tampered with in any way?
Yes.
What was tampered with?
The wiring to the digital code, to the digital lock itself.
Do you have any knowledge, as you see here today, that it was open and anything?
There's a police report made.
All right, do you have that with you?
I do not.
Okay. And was anything ever found out about that? What was the overall determination of this alleged police report?
It was just a document report. It went nowhere.
All right. So let me get this straight. You claim my client stole $40,000 and you did not file a police report, correct?
That is correct.
He's already testified to that.
But now that the safe, you filed a police report on the safe?
Yes, after I came back into the house, yes.
Was this at the time during the restraining orders?
Yes.
Okay. And then it says electric, I can't even read it, but 175, you just don't have any proof of any of these payments being made, correct?
Correct.
It's just based on your testimony.
Yes.
And you have no proof of the improvements you made in the house as we sit here today, correct?
Correct.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, next witness.
No further witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have exhibits, but again, they're the same ones that are in the binder.
You have Exhibit I, and what else do you have?
Well, same as I have the deed, which is Exhibit A, but that is an exhibit in the plaintiff's folder. I had the third federal receipts as Exhibit C. They're in plaintiff's as Exhibit I had on Exhibit D that talked about the amount in escrow, but
So there's nothing additional,
didn't,
your exhibits are nothing
introduce
additional to Eric's?
correct, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, I want to clarify, our exhibits were A through J. I want to make sure that's what we discussed. I think it is, because there were two stipulated ones.
Yeah.
Okay,
A
thank
through
you.
J.
And then, Your Honor, just for your K, L, and M, K and L are orders from the court, and M is the actual case that the parties agreed would dictate as to the...
All right, so I'll just, those aren't part of the record then. They're just, I mean, they're already part of the record by
Correct.
the transcript, but do you have any brief
Very brief, Your Honor.
closing?
I do, Your Honor. It's important that Ms. Mackey and Mr. Peterson were never married. It's not as if you're married, you're entitled to 50%. That's why the case of Thrasher versus Watts was included as governing the behavior of the parties. The quitclaim deed in question is silent as to interests. It was really given only to have Ms. Mackey's father drop off the property, and then Ms. Mackey and Mr. Peterson were title holders. It did not discuss what their interests in that property were. It's very generic. Therefore, a rebuttable presumption was created as to who would receive the money once the house was sold. And if you remember, Your Honor, your analogy is very true. This was tumultuous to get it to close. There were 3 motions filed to have Mr. Peterson follow the court's orders. My client has done nothing to impede this, and you've heard testimony from Ms. Mackey as to what she's put into the house, what she has done. The items that she's paid for are documented. Mr. Peterson hasn't provided anything to this court, and if anything, as to credibility, he's a former state trooper, didn't file a police report of the alleged stealing of $40,000. He's testified that he had it in a locked safe, these receipts. At first, they were in a box of receipts in his safe, and then he testified, oh no, they were given to Ms. Mackey. Your Honor, I would warrant that his testimony is all over the place. I would also argue that under the Thrasher versus Watts case, my client has substantiated what she's entitled to. And arguably, when you buy a house for $150,000, and then Mr. Peterson comes on board in 2019, that the value of the home at that time, at a best estimate, if you take the stipulated 2 appraisal, the value was around $309,072. So it increased in value due to my client. She had a good purchase. Any of this testimony from Mr. Peterson saying that he lived there, it's refuted by my client. So even if you take it a best case scenario, what the property was worth on the date of sale, when it was appraised in 2019 for $309 and then was sold for $392, you're looking at a swing of about $80,000. It would be disingenuous for Mr. Peterson to claim he's entitled to half of a house that he really had nothing to do with until 2019 when he became a title holder. So, Your Honor, I would argue for the reasons stated in our motion and for the testimonies here today in the exhibits that my client should be awarded the full amount of what's being held in escrow, especially given what she has had to endure for all these years to try to get to the point to have the money distributed and to move on with her life. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Testimony demonstrates that the home was purchased in 2011. Mr. Peterson was a part of that process, actually located the home, wasn't put on the deed for various reasons. He had his own separate home, but he spent a lot of time at the home, did a lot of repairs, did actually move into the home full-time when his home was sold in 2013, established more of a permanent residence, mailing address-wise in 2015. Again, your testimony as to why some of those maneuvers were made. Mr. Peterson certainly helped increase the value of this home. The fact that it was purchased for $150 and then sold for $300 and some recently demonstrates how much work was put in this home. The idea that Mr. Peterson would sit around and not do anything towards the home, I don't think is accurate. You heard Mr. Peterson's testimony that starting in 2015 he was making that $700 a month contribution. He does agree that between 2011 and 2015 he was not making the mortgage payment, but starting in 2015 he was making that contribution. He heard his testimony that beginning in 2018 he was paying a higher amount of the mortgage, and then when they refinanced, and again there's a reason that the refinance and everything took place, in 2019 he started making the entire mortgage payment, and he did that until he was removed by court order from the home in December of 2022. In December of 2022. In September of 2023, he comes back in the home as Mackey had left the home, and he remains in the home from September of 2023 until the time it was sold. Now, Mr. Mackey testified that the mortgage payment hadn't been made in August or September of 23, so Ms. Mackey had made it during that period of time that Mr. Peterson was out of the home, but she hadn't made the August and September payment. He couldn't make the payment because the loan was in default, but once we got the payoff amounts and everything else, he did bring the loan current, and that's clear based on the exhibits that in February of 2025 he paid the mortgage, or paid the amount to bring it current from September 2023 to February 2025. Did not pay March, April, May. Again, based on his testimony, the home was sold. He knew that amount would come out of the proceeds of the home. He did that once he moved in 23. He was paying the utilities. Did concede that Ms. Peterson paid.
Well, he was living there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't that make sense?
It does.
Okay, so is he looking for an offset for?
He is not, Your Honor, but I know that there's and really, I don't think utility bills have anything to do with equity. The only reason I bring it up is because there's utility bills in plaintiff's exhibits, but I don't think utility bills equate to equity. Property taxes were included in the mortgage payment. Mr. Peterson testified that he was paying Ms. Mackey for the homeowner's insurance up into the time that he left the home, and then from that point on, December of 2022 through the sale of the home in June of 2025, that she was paying the homeowner's insurance. Mr. Peterson provided an explanation as to the check that was written out of the home equity line and how that went towards a business that they were both involved in. And as a result of all this, Your Honor, I do think that an equitable division would be a 50-50 division. I know there's that case that has been brought up, and if you look at that case, it's a situation where that couple was, in the home for less than a year together. So I think there's some differences, but I know in that case, I think the party that prevailed was the one that came back into the home and brought everything current and maintained the home.